We're going to be heading to dinner. What I want to do right now is put your eyes on the screen, take some notes. I'm going to tell you right now what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 25 people that want to be a part of a beta program. This has been years in development, but I've been working hard at it for the last 2 years, onboarding companies, and all of it has been in mind with, what if we could someday have a Business Maverick program where I could train you as my partner and we could go acquire companies together. Some of them you'll do on your own. Some of them you won't be able to do without me. Some of them I can't do. When you bring a good deal to me and I can't close, do you know what I do? I call Roland Frazier, and I put Roland Frazier in the deal to get the deal done. And so we have a really cool hierarchy of the whatever it takes to cause a deal. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 25 people to join my beta program. It's called Business Club. And who here has heard of Investors Club? Because I got a lot of my Investors Club members here. This is my private equity club. This is for individuals with money that are basically investing in a lot of these companies that we're finding. But Investors Club is not for everybody because you have to be at a place in your life where you have quite a bit of leftover money beyond investing in real estate where you can buy into these companies. And so that's when I decided, after doing a year and a half of Investors Club, one of my biggest disappointments was realizing, geez, Investors Club is like my favorite place to hang in my own ecosystem. By the way, Investors Club, the last couple of days, did we have a lot of fun? Oh, yeah. Dude, we had a great time, right? Like, it's where I feel the most unleashed and the most excited. But to be in that room, you have to have $100,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're prepared to part with into a bunch of private equity and other types of deals. And I bring my most specialty deals there. But not everyone has that. And so for the last 18 months, I've gotten thinking, shoot, it's such an exclusive club. I want to create something more accessible that says, you know what? Maybe you don't got $100,000 or $500,000 to put into a bunch of companies. Maybe all you got is what I had when I got started, which is nothing. I promise you, every person in this room has more than what I had when I got started. And that's when we started conceiving a business club. And we basically said, all right, if you don't got the money to acquire companies, how could we help you do it with no money? And how could we build those deal structures together? And that's what I'm about to present. You guys want to see what it looks like? By the way, I have to tell you, as an entrepreneur, some of you knows what this feels like. When something that has been in the laboratory for a long time, top secret, and we've been building it, and you finally get to release it, is it exciting? Yeah. I hope you love it as much as I do, because this feels like, for me, one of my most important creations. And I'm excited to share it with you. So tonight, I'm looking for how many people? And that's because we are a beta program. A what? And beta basically means I want to bring in a controlled group of individuals, and I want to give them unprecedented access to the chairman of the board, Carson Tejan, and the whole team on private equity that I put together so that I can groom you and train you and prepare you and actually help you do deals. I have created, it took, oh my gosh, this course. To create the ultimate M&A course has taken forever. And the course is done. I haven't even shot it in studio. I'm doing that next week. So inside the next 30 days, like the full A to Z of what it takes to do all of this. But in the meantime, getting with our team, live coaching calls, coming together. That's what Business Club is all about. So here's what it looks like. There's 4 parts to it. How many? 4. Here's the first part. If you want to participate in the biggest wealth transfer in history, that's what Tony Robbins warned me 5 years ago was coming. He said, we have about 11 years left of this. And he said, when this ends, it's going to be over because the largest businesses are literally leaving the market unsold. So this has been many years in the making, but with 7 years left and the deals that I'm doing right now, I'm like, okay, if there was ever a time, you guys understand that history is taking place right now. Like if you could go back in time, if I could go back in time to only one time in history to buy up as much real estate as possible, does anyone know when I would go to? I would go to the Great Depression. I would go to the Great Depression. The Great Depression, by the way, gave birth to Rockefeller, Morgan Stanley. The wealthiest names in this country today came from that boom. So when 2008 hit, I was really happy to take advantage of it, but I have dreamt Someday I'm gonna have a time machine, and where am I gonna go? I'm going to the Great Depression. In our country's history, when our freedom is so threatened right now, with the liberal movement pushing so hard, and with everything trying to curtail freedom, like you've heard, there was rumors about next month they're gonna start doing the whole mask thing again. Has anyone heard about this? What do you guys think? There will be blood. We are climaxing to this insane moment in history with the haves and the have-nots. We've got the middle class evaporating right now. Over the next decade, losing another 10% of it. Half are going to be impoverished, half are going to be wealthy. This is like Ayn Rand's book. You guys read The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged? It's like happening right now. Dystopian America. And so right now, I think is the time when we make our stand for freedom. And the ability to create wealth is a game of freedom, because the people with the most money always have the most what? Options. And if you want to live a life free with a lot of options, then you got to get it together. There are some of you in this room that have a great game plan, but if you don't, listen up very carefully. This wealth transfer is going down. There's 4 parts to what this is, and it's been a long time in the making. So here's part 1. I have to start by giving you my training program. Today you got a taste of it, but I got to go deep on all aspects of how you acquire companies. Does this make sense? Because when I have you trained, that's when you become lethal, because then I can really help you understand, look for this, look for this, look for this, avoid that, avoid that, avoid that. Here's where you find them, here's where you vet them, here's how you tee them up. If you got these things, go do them yourself. If you want, come do them with me. So the training is the first part. Does that make sense? Okay, the next thing that you're going to need, by the way, training is everything about basically how to purchase not up and coming, not starter, but profitable businesses without money out of pocket. Okay, part 2. This is really big. Some of you have heard me for the last year and a half talking about CEO boot camp. But there's almost no one in this room that has participated except for a couple. Dan, you're probably been deep in CEO boot camp. Is there anyone else that has been in CEO boot camp? We have a couple of rare exceptions here, Escovaria, yep. I always say it wrong, brother. Mecky was like schooling me. She's like, hey, oh shoot, I even forgot how to do it again. Echevarria, that's right. But Dan, having gone through CEO boot camp 2 times, you and I building Thatch, community, putting everything in place. Can I get a microphone real quick right here? While we're getting it, CEO boot camp is all about the game of how do you train up a company's management team to know how to functionally grow a company. Dan, what's it been like, you and I doing Thatch side by side with you doing CEO boot camp?
Oh, it's been incredible. The CEO bootcamp takes, you can read 100 books, and it distills it into all the most important things, but it's interactive, you can work with people, there's accountability. It takes things to another level and also simplifies it.
Yeah, thank you. And what I would do is I would kind of liken it like this. Who here's ever heard of an MBA? Imagine that an MBA was actually in the real world, only taught by entrepreneurs that are actually doing real businesses, making real money. That's what CEO Bootcamp is. It's a year-long program. It has a very aggressive 90 days weekly interactive teaching you how to build and grow companies. Because by the way, how many of you want to learn side by side with me, not just how to acquire a company, but what if you did a deal all on your own and you were the one growing it? How many of you would want to possess that skill? This is where the training goes down. So CEO Bootcamp, I've just rebranded it Business Bootcamp because it matches Business Club. Business Bootcamp is basically where you learn how to grow business from A to Z. Most companies lack half, if not more, of what we teach in that course, so the light bulbs are always going on. Watch what I do. Every time I get a consult for equity client, I take their top management team, whether it's 1 person or 5 people, and I dump them right on in, and immediately, look how smart this is. I am training them in a cohort with all my other functional companies how to be a successful functional company. I'm just telling you, it's such a proactive, cool approach to growing a business. So this training program is valued at $32,000. I think that's severely undervalued because it's like getting a practical real-world MBA in 90 days, and then it follows up with 9 months of practice with all of these companies. And you're not just sitting there in a group with your people. You're sitting there always with at least a dozen different companies from a dozen different industries that are all offering different perspectives and point of views. Do you know how smart that makes you? Crazy smart. So this one is, that's really big that we're including this. So it's live interactive trainings on acquisition to grow and exit. It's learning the ins and outs of taking businesses that you've acquired successfully to a lucrative exit. It's complete custom assignments, live Q&A sessions. It's hyper interactive. And by the way, the head person I have teaching this is my chairman of the board of all of my companies. And Carson is the one you're gonna wanna be close to. You guys have been working closely with Carson. How's it been? It's been amazing, right? Carson is about as real as it freaking gets in the real business world because that dude runs my business world. Okay, the third thing that this includes is access to 2 different 2-day workshops with hands-on training and learning in person. And if you've heard of Investors Club, what we're doing is we're adding an extra day onto Investors Club. And what you're doing is you're getting 1 full day with the Investors Club doing nothing but business acquisitions. Literally reviewing companies, looking at companies, and showing you all the different negotiation strategies. And then you also get a bonus day of hanging with the Investors Club so that you actually get to see real world deals, not like in practicality, being done and transacted, the stories of how they came to be, where we found them. So now you're like deep in it. You're literally getting the most up close, front seat action that you can to watching billion-dollar deals happen. How's that gonna change you? Can you see how it's gonna change you? It's gonna be amazing. And then the fourth part is that there's monthly private business club coaching calls where we hang out for a few hours and we just open shop to basically talk about your deals, negotiation strategies, how you're doing them, where you're finding your best deals. Ryan, undoubtedly, I'm predicting in 90 days will be a guest saying, hey guys, I hacked the system on how to produce daily leads for free, because I know him. And so this is where I get to bring in also some of my other coaches that you haven't met. Eric Ardmore is the one that brought me the roofing deal. He's bringing me deal flows. We're working on roll-ups and other things. He's been in Cody Sanchez's room, and I've got Roland Frazier, and basically combining a collective understanding of basically how everyone's doing these deals. This program, our Business Buying Secrets, our Year of Business Boot Camp, our 2-day workshops, our monthly private coaching calls, that's valued at $106,988. And Business Club is $29,997. By the way, how many of you think that that is an amazing value to participate and play the game like that? What do you think? Does it make sense? How many deals do you need to change your life? 1. However, some of you kind of know that we like to do crazy bonuses. And we like to get a little bit wild and sometimes throw out a discount. Do you guys mind if I share that with you? Are we good? Because in a moment, we're gonna break for dinner. And when we break for dinner, I'm gonna be handing out special tickets for those that wanna be in this room to come and be a part of this so we can actually tonight find our 25 new business partners in business. So let me give you a sneak peek here and just share with you some of the business bonuses that we're gonna be including. The first one is, you're not meant to go it alone. We are becoming a community. The 25 of us, we are going to be watching and learning together, growing together, and interacting with each other. Because the reality is, the Pels have this insane way that they're gonna be teeing up deals daily, and they have a goal of how many deals in the next, what do you guys? 1,000 close. Yes, Larry wants to do 10% of my portfolio, just him and I. And they not just have the motivation, they are actually hitting the ground and doing it. I'm so excited for them. So we're gonna be bringing a community together to make sure that you're actually learning from each other and not just the experts. The second thing that I wanna point out here is that Carlos Reyes's 2 tickets to his $10,000 workshop to get yourself on track for making, on the low end, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But if you're in my tribe, I'm gonna push you year 1 to make how much money? $1 million a year. We're also going to include 2 $10,000 tickets to that workshop next month, and that one's gonna be free as a bonus included. So The game is let's do some business acquisitions and acquire businesses, but at the same time, do what's your income? Yeah. Hello? Do what's your income? And I just want to ask, who here wants to get as quickly as possible to that $500,000 or $1 million a year mark? Yes or yes? Are you guys okay if we include that? So that one's going to be really fun. I'm going to be there with Carlos. By the way, that event is happening. Do you know where it's happening? It's going to be happening here. And next, we haven't released this yet. Carlos and I also decided to take, there are some people that are like, I don't want to wait for the boot camp. And so we actually created a 6-hour course which basically has everything from the boot camp put into a digital course with every single contract that you need so that you can actually hit the ground on wholesaling running even faster than that. That course for the first time is up, it's available, it's live, accessible, and ready to go to anyone that's actually a part of this program right here. Okay, bonus, that's learning the exact formula for making $1 million for real estate wholesaling, hands-on training from experts Carlos Reyes and team. And here's bonus number 4. Bonus number 4 is the entire Business Maverick program, which says now when we do business together, whether you're earning 5% on your first deal, 10% on your next 2, and then 20% after, that's also included in here, which basically says, this is what most people do, folks. Buy this and learn and good luck. How many of you know that that's the normal world? Can I share with you how I've made a name for myself? I've taken the hardest things that I know people won't do. 100 people buy the course, and how many of them actually implement? Be honest. 10%, and my stomach is not okay with that, which is why years ago when I started my real estate program, I created a partner option because I learned that people would educate, and then guess what? They would get scared and they wouldn't transact. So I said, fine, I'll bring the very best deals and we'll partner. And what we're doing right here is we're doing the exact same thing, saying, I'm not gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you, and the moment you get stuck, hand it off, and let's do the deal together. Does that make sense? All right, who's excited about that, by the way? There's a lot of people that think I'm kind of crazy. My investors club is crazy. It's like, what are you doing trying to find $10 billion plus deals a year and putting them in a fund and making them available to a group of people? The amount, by the way, I have a team of 12 people between lawyers, fund managers, accountants that do nothing full time but manage all that chaos. And meanwhile, the legal teams are always like, Borowski. They don't say it that way. They're like, this is aggressive. And I'm like, yes, but if we dot our I's and cross our T's and do everything the right way, let's be a real help to people. I don't want to get rich alone. I could literally sell stuff that just says, let me show you what I'm doing, good luck on your own. In almost everything that I do, I always find a way to say what? Come do it with me. Come do it with me. By the way, if it burns to the ground, I'll burn with you. My money's in the deal. I'm in the deal. I'm doing the deal. I sit on the board. Does that make sense? It's a little crazy. I like it. Okay, here's bonus number 5. This one is, I can't believe that, I don't know what. You're all real estate partners here, and when you actually decide to join Business Club, we're also giving you a free real estate partnership level upgrade. That means if you're at Final Genius at the 1 level, you don't have to pay $8,000 for moving up in the program. That's actually been included. So everyone here, wherever your level's at, you just got bumped up a level. If you're at the highest level, then that becomes a credit to you in Investors Club should you want to come and play there. And so that's complimentary level up on your real estate partnership. By the way, why are we throwing that one in there? Because the time to buy real estate is when? Now. Hello? Yeah. And when you're out there doing the whole business game, how many of you think you might find some people that want to throw some money in real estate? Guys, partner with them. Do what I do. Grow yourself. Here's the 6th and final bonus. If you join during the event, we are also going to take $5,000 off of Business Club. It's our first time offering it, and we don't have plans of offering it again anytime soon, because really what I'm going to do, especially for the next 6 months, is hunker down with my 25, and we're going to go to town and do the exact same thing that Carlos Reyes did with the boot camp, which was get people doing deals. And guess what we're going to do in Business Club? We're going to get people doing deals. By the way, when you When you wholesale a piece of property, make 20 grand or 100 grand, how many of you think that that's a good feeling? It's a great feeling. Do you know what happens when you do the equivalent in acquisitions and acquire a company? It's gonna feel like 10 of those deals. So you do the wholesaling for the immediate access to more what? Cash flow. And then you have more money to invest, but in the meantime, you're also doing these zero down business acquisitions. Does it make sense? You guys getting the game plan here? Private equity is when you want to hit your goals and go way beyond. So here we have, that means that we're sitting at $164,000 of value, but the program's been dropped to $24,000. So the business buying secrets for $5 grand, a year business boot camp at $32,000, the 2-day workshop access at $60,000, which co-ops with Investors Club, the monthly private coaching calls at $10,000 a year, and then the bonuses, the private community, the wholesaling boot camp and course, the business maverick program, your free partner level up, plus the discount, brings all of that to $164,985. And for my pilot batch, we're making that available for $25,000, $24,997. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if this is making sense. I want to find my 25 people, but guess when I want to find them? I want to find them tonight. I want to know who wants to do it now. It's a beta program. The rest can come later, but I want to know who wants to get in with me. And so what I want you to also be aware of is that those that are going to stay at dinner, we're going to be announcing a couple more bonuses because those that are going to join Business Club. Rumor has it I'm also going to be, for the first time publicly, giving access to those people to join Superhuman and to have that mastermind experience with me as well, which means develop all the things that really, truly matter. And guys, with everything I've ever created in my life, I don't know if I could put more value in it, but this is the way that I play. And the way that I play is let's go all out and let's give you the best shot at mega success. Who's with me on this? Who's with me on this? What we're gonna be doing right now is, in a moment, we're gonna go to dinner. And within 5 minutes, anyone that has a pass that wants to basically join Business Club tonight, you're gonna be let back in the room. Everyone else will actually be going to dinner. This room will turn around, believe it or not, in about 5 minutes. And what we're about to do is, if you want to be here at dinner because you wanna be a part of Business Club and you wanna be a part of the 25 and you wanna see the additional bonuses, what I want you to do right now is raise your hand and receive one of these private invitations so you can get back into the room and that we can go ahead and share this experience together. So put your hands up and our team will go ahead and pass those out. And this is how we're gonna select our 25 people that are gonna be joining me on this crazy private equity adventure, real estate wholesaling adventure, superhuman adventure, and we're just gonna have a crazy awesome time together.
Absolutely. Guys, put your hands up. Keep your hands up until you have one of these. Make sure our team is coming around with them right now. This is an exclusive signing party. So here's what's gonna happen. In just a moment, we're going to have a meal break. Those of you that are going to be getting in on this with our signing party, you're gonna bring this with you. This is your ticket back into the room. Okay, so you need this to get back into the room. I'll let everyone else know where they're gonna go in just a moment, but make sure you have your hand raised until you have this ticket in your hand. I wanna share something with you because Chris made a point of let's win together. I will never forget, I don't know if you remember this. There was one time you invited me to go skiing with you. And I said, Chris, I don't have $100 for a lift ticket. And then I went over to your house because I was gonna hang out with Kalyan after, and I walked in, and you were sitting there in the office. And I said, Chris, what are you doing? I thought you were going skiing. And he's like, I will not get on the lift unless my friends are making money with me. And that was one of the most impactful things, and I have seen you show up with that level of integrity time and time again. Guys, this is our mission, this is our cause, to find the most people in the world with good hearts and make them crazy wealthy, because the money needs you to get where it's supposed to go.
So the truth is I'm not a billionaire yet, but maybe by the time the program ends, your partner will be one. But my goal is I can't get where I want to go with helping enough people get where they want to go. And that's what we're going to be doing together. So for those of you that are going to be joining us for that exclusive dinner, we got some other things that we want to share on it, and look forward to finding my 25 partners. Everyone else, we're about to go to a dinner break, and what time are we going to be coming back?
7 p.m. You're going to be back in this room at 7 p.m. I have a little more further instructions for you on where to go if you're not joining us for the signing party. If you are, you're going to be right back in here but we'll be explaining in just a moment. So 7 p.m. is our back time.
And everybody tonight, get ready for Superhuman, because tonight I want to share with you what it takes in how you present to the world, where everyone wants to just say yes to you. So instead of getting 10 rejections and 1 yes, instead of getting 5 rejections and 1 yes, what does it take for you to become a person where everyone that can say yes does say yes and your world changes? That's what we got going on tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and break for dinner. Please enjoy yourselves. Those with the dinner pass, just hang out at the doors and we'll let you back in a few minutes. Thank you so much.
All right, give it up for Chris, ladies and gentlemen.